offensive self, when one side does good, the other side has to do not so good. So you don't really know exactly um, whether you're really that good on one side and that bad on the other, or if maybe you need to do. I think what we need to do here is continue to try to create our identity as a team. I think we've done a lot of different things on offense this spring, and I really do think that we have to establish an identity of what we can do and what we're going to do. And there's a lot of things that are happening now that I think contribute to being able to do that. One of those things is we're giving 5 quarterbacks all an opportunity uh, to play, and I think that they all have shown at some point in time that they have some ability to do it, but uh, nobody has really yet stood out to the point where you can say, well, that's the guy. Well, that affects continuity. But I think if we had that resolved, it would be easier for us to establish an identity on offense. We probably turned the ball over too much, offensively today, but I thought that the defense did a great job of ball hawking, tipping balls, attacking the ball, and doing a good job of creating turnovers, which is something that we have really, really emphasized. That is one of our goals to improve on, for next season. Uh, you know, I think that a couple of the skill guys today, Robert Foster, who had 6 catches for over 100 yards, and O.J. Howard had 4 or 5 catches. We need to have playmakers on offense. Kenyon Drake and Derrick Henry, both did a nice job out there. But we need more guys to gain confidence offensively, so that we have some playmakers that we are go-to guys. From an offensive line standpoint, I feel like we're making progress in the offensive line, but I think we have to get our offensive line to think that they're the reason that our offensive team is going to be successful and be able to do the things that we're going to be capable of doing with the players that we have. And I don't think that they've taken ownership, of that part of it yet. Defensively, I thought we didn't make as many mistakes in this scrimmage. Still gave up a few big plays, which we have to continue to work on, because on a daily basis it seems like when you give up big plays, it's either a mental error or a missed tackle. So when we execute together as a group and everybody's responsible and do their job well, we seem to play pretty well defensively. So that's something that we're going to have to continue to work on. I thought the specialist did a really good job today. I know the stats may not look like it, but I think we tried about 55-yard field goals. One was wide right this far, and the other one was this far short. So Griff had a really good day, and I thought KJ punted the ball really well, and I think we made some progress on special teams this spring. So hopefully that's going to be something that we continue to improve on as well. But we're certainly not satisfied with where we are in certain parts of our team. But I think the biggest part is that everybody's got to buy in to the attention to detail and the mental intensity that it takes to execute and do their job on a more consistent basis, because everything happens relative to how we execute. And I think that's something that more guys have to buy into, and we have to get done, because to have a good team, that's what you have to have. So the team's got to be important to everybody. We got to be aggressive and attack people. We're trying to create an identity of being relentless competitors and physical and tough. And I think there's some areas of our team that have played that way this spring, and I think there's other areas of our team that need to make progress in that area. So, any questions?
Just to follow up, so trying to get reps on 5 guys, make sure not. Does there come a point where you snap to go to 3?
Well, I think so, but I think the way we do it is, each day, we give maybe 3 guys the bulk of the work, right? And then, the next day, we so they do get continuity. I think that when the scrimmages come, because you only have two, is you want to give everybody an opportunity so you can evaluate them. Right, so that's what we've done. We'll probably continue to do that even in A-Day, and I think most importantly over the summer and in fall camp, we're going to need to establish. Okay, here's the guy that's. But somebody's got to take the bull by the horns and do that too. It's not for us to give away; it's for somebody to earn. So that's sort of the plan right now. Well, we moved Eddie to safety this week, and that's worked out really well for us. So, having him and Gino back give us two guys that have played some, have some experience, understand the system a little bit. Tony Brown has done a pretty good job. Still needs to work on his consistency, doing things the right way all the time. But he's had a really good spring. Maurice Smith has had a pretty good spring. Marlon Humphrey has made progress, and Anthony Everett has done a really good job this spring in corner. So those four guys have really done well. Now Cyrus obviously isn't out there. We have a lot of players on our team that you can count 12 guys. If you count injuries, suspensions, whatever you want to count, that aren't out there playing. And 5 of them are starters on defense, and 3 of them would be contributors, on offense. So, it's great from the standpoint that there's somebody else that's getting a lot of playing time, a lot of reps, a lot of experience, which is going to add to the depth of our team. But it also affects, the continuity and quality of the players that you have out there. But again, we'd rather get those guys back and have them ready and healthy for fall camp, because really the whole goal is to be ready for the first game. Well, he has done probably as good a job as anybody, this spring in terms of he's very bright. He's got a great understanding of the offense. He does a great job from a leadership standpoint of helping other players play better when he's in there. And he has played smart for the most part all spring. It was going to be interesting today to see. We put him in some situations today where he doesn't have game experience, how he would handle those things, and in some cases he did a really good job, and a couple other times I'm sure he's going to learn from that experience and have a chance to do better. So we're really encouraged by the progress that he's made all spring. Well, Robert has really come on. I think being a young player, Robert is uncertain sometimes of exactly what he's supposed to do and how he's supposed to do it. When he knows, he plays fast and he has big playability. And we certainly need for him to develop the confidence and consistency and performance, mature, so that he understands the importance of doing the little things right, so that he can be on the same page with the quarterback. And that's how he can improve his production and performance and help our team the most. So, not satisfied with where he is, but certainly encouraged by the progress that he's made.
Based on what you've seen there.
Well, I think we're still going to evaluate that. I think in the long run, we want to get our best players on the field in the secondary and make sure that they fit the roles that they need to play. In this day and age, we end up playing a lot of 5 DBs. We end up playing 6 DBs in some cases on third down, and we play multiple wideout teams that get 4 wideouts or more. So to have the right components to fit the parts. So what happens with Eddie is just not all about Eddie. It's how does the other corners develop? Uh, the experiment was to see how he would adapt to playing safety, and he's done that very well. So now we have the option of playing our corner or safety. I don't think we need to make that decision right now, but I think it does. It is affected by how everybody else progresses. But has done the things that he's supposed to do to this point. He has more things to do when the semester is over. And if he continues to do what he's required to do, he was out for 7 days. That was, the first 7 days of what he needed to do, and did it all correctly. Did it the way we wanted him to do it. We test him, every day. So if he continues to do the right things, he can continue to perform. Gino has not been a problem on the field in terms of his performance. So we're encouraged to have him back, and hopefully he'll continue to improve and make good choices and decisions about what he does. These guys sort of don't, they all think they have this illusion of choice. Like I can do whatever I want to do. And we kind of have a younger generation now that doesn't always get told no. They don't always get told this is exactly how you need to do it. So they have this illusion that they have all these choices. But the fact of the matter is if you want to be good, you really don't have a lot of choices because it takes what it takes. You have to do what you have to do to be successful. So you have to make the choices and decisions to have the discipline and the focus to the process of what you need to do to accomplish your goals. And all these guys that think they have a lot of choices are really, sort of sadly mistaken. And I think, as we all have done with our own children, they learn these lessons of life as they get older. And sometimes the best way to learn is from the mistakes that you make, even though we all hate to see them have to make them. And we don't really condone it when they do. So Gino has done a good job coming back and doing what he's supposed to do, and hopefully he'll finish that up by the end of May, and kind of go from there. Well, I think that all the guys have done a pretty good job of that. I think it's more natural for some than the others. I think all these guys at some point in time have shown they have the capability of doing it. I think the issue is who can do it with the most consistency. Who can, it's just like a guy that shows he can hit a home run, but the good home run hitters hit it more often than the other guys. So we're looking for the guys that can do it more consistently, and who's going to help play winning football at that position on the most consistent basis. Knowledge and experience comes into that, instincts and awareness, understanding of the offense, confidence, all these things, are factors, in this. Ability to be accurate, be a good decision maker with the ball, take care of the ball. So, this is not something that you can just sort of wave a wand and say, okay, I think we got it. I think, this decision is going to get made over time. We're going to be fair and give everybody a fair opportunity. And when the time comes, we're going to have to make a choice and a decision and, go to work on making that guy the guy.
Coach, you mentioned individual safety. What is different
Well, corners are in one-on-one situation. Look, to be a good defensive back, you got to be able to tackle, you got to be able to play man-to-man, you got to be able to play the ball in deep part of the field. Those are three critical factors. I don't care what position you play. Right, but a corner is going to be in a lot more one-on-one situations than a safety. A safety probably is going to be in more situations where he has to fit the run and be a good tackler, be a more physical player, be a little more durable. Um, and probably, even though he's not going to be in as many one-on-one situations, his range at the position to break on the ball is probably more critical. Where corners probably a little more critical to play man-to-man, play his guy, play the ball in the deep part of the field, not probably have to run support quite as much, but he's going to get put in more isolated situations probably 5 or 6 times a game where, you know, those are the plays they got the good corners make. And so, you know, safeties are a little bigger. They don't have to be quite as fast with long speed. Instincts really help, and that's one thing that Eddie's always had, really good football instincts and awareness. So, you know, we'll see how this works for us. All right, guys, thanks.